Okay, this is my review of the market activity and my own trading for the second week of January 2025. That's the week that started on 6th of January up to the Friday, the 10th of January 2025. And to be very honest, I'm recording this video a little late because it was a tough week for me. It wasn't a great week. I ended this week minus 4R. I took four trades this week and I lost all of them. Summarily, I was fortunately only risking 0.5%, so my 4R loss equates to a 2% loss on my account. But unfortunately, that puts me back in 8% drawdown on the challenge account because I was already in 6% drawdown earlier. And let me even check my metrics. So that puts me, I think I'm in about 8% drawdown right now on the account. The four trades that I lost this week also mean that I am now on a six trade losing streak because I had lost two trades on the tail end of last week. So what's my max loss limit? Okay, 72.56. So a little over 7% drawdown, not 8%. You can see my equity curve just been going down. But anyway, let me review the market activity and let me review my trading. So I was anticipating more bearishness on the assets that I trade, that is the dollar majors, Euro USD, GBP USD, and NZD USD. The previous week was a bearish week, and yes, we are trading within this monthly fair value gap, but until I see a proper strong weekly bullish close, I'm bearish until I'm wrong, right? And so bearish structure was still being created. In my forecast for the previous week, I had said that I wanted to see. So this is Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday, right? So what had happened was that on Friday, the previous week, this fair value gap had been created. A daily fair value gap had been created. This fair value gap right here. And so I was looking for price to trade into it and then to give me a bearish signal. I took a Euro USD loss. Where was that trade? On Monday. Yes, so this was the trade, right? This was the fair. It was a 4-hour fair value gap on Monday morning. Price traded into it. This candle I thought was a bearish engulfing candle, so I took the trade here, but then I lost that trade. That was the first trade that I lost. The second trade that I lost was a New Zealand dollar US dollar trade. Around the same time, price traded into a weekly fair value gap. Was a weekly fair value gap on NZD USD. So this was it. This is the weekly fair value gap. Price traded into it, and I took the short trade right here. This candle engulfed the body of the previous candle. I took the short trade, and it went against me. It took me out for a loss. That was the second trade that I lost. The third trade that I lost was on gold. Price traded into a daily fair value gap on gold. Where is it? Yeah, so this was its price traded into a daily fair value gap on gold. Beautiful. This was the engulfing candle. I took the trade. Price took me out for a loss. The third trade. And then my final loss was on the pound dollar. I took this trade on Thursday. Friday was NFP. So yeah, this was the trade I took it on Thursday. You see that I took the trade after price had taken out. So this black line is a weekly swing point, right? So when price took it out during London session, it had this beautiful rejection candle. I took the long trade, but I was aggressive with this trade. And so when price moved just a little bit, I took it with an aggressive entry, I think on the 5 minutes, scaled in aggressively. So when my stop loss, was much higher, I think it was somewhere here. And then, so when price did this, it took me out for a loss. Now, this trade ultimately ended up losing during, you see, it just consolidated until NFP on Friday when it dumped. But if I had not taken that aggressive entry that I had taken, my trading style, normally this is how I prepare for news. So I will take the trade if it happens before news, But we can see that this trade delivered a beautiful 1 hour, 1.6 hour at the time where it was before it tanked. It was still a 1.3 hour trade, right? So if I had taken this trade normally according to my rules and held it, it should have normally I would have exited on any of these three 15-minute candles before NFP because I know I would not have stayed in the trade until NFP. So it would have been a 1 hour trade, but I ended up taking a loss on that trade. And then I missed one golden trading opportunity. So because I had taken, and mind you, I was coming off the back of losses from last week. So because I had taken four losses in a row and I had taken this loss on New Zealand dollar, US dollar, I actually saw this trade. I had an alert at this high because we're still in the weekly fair value gap. I had an alert at this high. As soon as price took that high out here, I got alerted. I was looking at price. Price printed this beautiful shooting star candle. But by that point, off the back of four losses, and when price traded into the weekly fair value gap, and you can see that on the day when I took the loss, it took me out, but it continued, it sold off for a bit. So I thought that this was all that the weekly fair value gap was going to offer. When I saw that price started to rally again, I became fearful. I'm like, okay, maybe price wants to rally, maybe the bearish bias has changed, but I should just have followed my strategy. It is a bearish fair value gap. It's a weekly fair value gap. Liquidity has been swept. I see the bearish signal. I should have taken it. Of course, this trade, so I tracked it to see what it ultimately delivered. It ultimately delivered a 20 hour, ended up being a 20 hour trade, taking out some daily swing lows. But I mean, all I need is a 3 hour from this trade. This trade could have easily given me 3 hour, 4 hour, 5 hour, 6 hour, 7 hour, 8 hour. Anyway, it delivered 8 hour on this day alone. On the day was over the course of the rest of the week that it delivered the remaining 12 hours to make it a 20 hour trade. And so I saw this trade, I got triggered, the alerts, I saw it, but I decided not to take it because I was fearful. That was one tough lesson I had to learn this week because, hey, if I had just taken this trade and if I had behaved myself on the GBP USD trade, that would have been a 1 hour trade. This could have been a 3 hour trade. And so I would have made 4 hour and probably assuming I lost this trade and I lost the euro trade, it could still have potentially been a 2 hour week. But I've learned those harsh lessons. That's how I traded this week.